It is a pleasure to be back in London. Thank you, Prime Minister, for co-hosting this vital summit. Thank you for the UK's continued leadership on energy security and, more generally, for the excellent cooperation between the European Union and the UK. Energy is vital to this cooperation. Our work is centered around the North Sea. This is a powerhouse indeed for clean energy and the energy of the future. So the North Sea region has it all. As you said, offshore wind, marine energy, hydrogen, carbon capture and storage. But what is important is that there is not only the resources out there, but the regulatory certainty. And if you don't believe in this, just think of the electricity trading. Their uncertainty has been especially bad for business. So, certainty is something which we can deliver. The EU framework offers. It is what investors are looking for. And therefore, dear Keir, I think this is something where the two of us should team up and deliver on what is needed for the investors. The investors, for many years, are ready to start. They just need the regulatory certainty, they need the predictability, and they need one framework to work with. So let's deliver on that one. And thank you very much, dear Fatih Birol, for the excellent work you're doing. You keep energy security at the forefront of global attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing a new paradigm for energy security. In Europe, we witnessed firsthand how Russia intentionally weaponized energy supplies. In the Middle East, conflict has stoked instability and threatened global shipping. And across the Atlantic, the threat of tariffs risks further disruption of crucial supply chains. And that's why today's meeting is so timely. Because reliable and affordable energy is the lifeblood of our economies. It underpins our national security. And it sustains our industrial and economic competitiveness. The positive news is that we see progress on energy security worldwide. Over the last decade, 1 billion people have gained reliable access to electricity. If we deliver on the collective goals we set at COP28, this will help in addition. If we triple renewable energy and double energy efficiency, we will bring reliable and affordable energy to millions more around the world. Because clean, homegrown renewables not only strengthen our resilience, they also spur, of course, new jobs, more innovation within our own economies. As our energy dependency goes down, the energy dependency on fossil fuels, our energy security goes up. That is the lesson we have learned in Europe. At the start of this decade, as you all know, we were over-reliant on one single supplier for our energy needs. Let me give you some figures. Russia provided 45% of our gas, 50% of our coal, and nearly 1/3 of our oil. For decades, I must say, we failed to recognize the costs that came with this dependence, the risk of blackmail, economic coercion, price shocks. That reality was exposed after the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russia tried to exploit our overdependence on cutting us off the gas. They tried to cause economic turmoil and weaken our resolve for Ukraine. They failed. We answered with Repower EU. We diversified our supply. We accelerated the clean energy transition. We went from 45% of our gas imports coming from Russia down to 18%. We went from 1 in 5 barrels of oil down to 1 in 50, a tenfold reduction. And we went to zero coal from Russia. In sum, we cut funding for Russia's war economy and strengthened our energy security. But we all know that there's so much more to do. In 2 weeks, our Energy Commissioner, Dan Jorgensen, will present a roadmap with concrete measures to phase out all imports of Russian fossil fuels, so that we will no longer rely on a hostile power for our energy supply. On gas supply, actually, we have not forgotten how the United States immediately stepped in with LNG when we needed it during the energy crisis, and how we received additional pipeline gas from Norway, and how countries further away like Japan and the Republic of Korea worked very closely with us on global markets to ensure our immediate energy security. These energy partnerships, including imports of LNG from the United States, remain of strategic importance for the European Union. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is not only a question of alternative suppliers. We reduced our vulnerability to Russian fossil fuels by accelerating the rollout of homegrown renewable energy. And in the medium term, this is the best means to ensure energy security. The progress is already visible. Renewables now account for 47% of our electricity mix. Solar and wind are our 2 fastest growing energy sources. Last year alone, we installed 78 gigawatts of new renewable capacity. That is enough to power London 16 times over. And we must go further. Earlier this year, we presented an affordable energy action plan. We will boost our energy and electrification projects. It will help us to complete interconnections and grids, so that wind from the North Sea and solar from Spain can power homes and industries across our continent. We are also working to ensure that the clean industries of the future are built in Europe. With the Clean Industrial Deal, we will mobilize over 100 billion euros to support clean manufacturing. This means new high-skilled jobs in Europe, lower energy costs, reduced demands for fossil fuels, and greater autonomy over our energy suppliers. This progress is crucial because globally we see threats to energy security intensifying. We see hostile actors target critical infrastructure with physical and cyber attacks. We see Houthi militants use missiles to strike international shipping, including oil tankers. We also see increased pressure on grids and infrastructure as global demand for energy surges. Just a figure, in 2024, energy demand grew by almost twice its recent average. And this is driven by increased consumption of electricity and the growing energy needs in areas such as electric mobility, air conditioning, and of course ever more powerful artificial intelligence. All the data centers are just energy eater par excellence. On the other hand, and that is bitter, progress to connect the world's poorest to electricity has slowed. And this threatens to leave tens of millions of people, particularly in Africa, living in energy insecurity. So, ladies and gentlemen, these global challenges require a collective response. We need greater collaboration across the entire energy value chain. And I see 5 steps where we need to step up cooperation to deliver energy security. First, we need to set a clear vision of the direction of travel and a determination to follow it. Earlier this year, alongside many of you here, we launched the Global Energy Transition Forum. You mentioned it here. The forum can help us to deliver on the promises we made at COP28 in Dubai, our promise to triple renewable energy capacity and to double energy efficiency by 2030. So to achieve this, we need to keep track of progress, because you all know the old saying, only what gets measured gets done. So as we discussed here, the forum will work hand in hand with the Global Clean Power Alliance, which you launched this year, because we share the same goals, we aim for the same results, so that by working together, again, the two of us can deliver. Second point, we need to turn targets into very concrete projects, not only at home, but also abroad. Europe is doing this through the Global Gateway Initiative and our Scaling Up Renewables in Africa campaign. That is, European funds are helping to build infrastructure to ensure that clean energy is available where it is needed the most. For example, with the Zambia-Tanzania Energy Interconnector, this will connect the power grids of southern and eastern Africa. It will bring energy security to millions across Africa. Third point, we need critical raw materials. You all know it here in this room. And this is all the more important in the context of looming trade restrictions and export bans. We see it already. These minerals are the building blocks of the clean transition. And work is already underway, and I would like to commend here again the International Energy Agency for its leading role in this crucial topic. The European Union has signed 10 strategic raw materials agreements with partner countries. And we launched the first ever clean trade and investment partnership with South Africa. This will see Europe invest 4.4 billion euros in clean energy projects in South Africa. And at the same time, it will ensure that European firms have access to the materials they need to power the green transition. My fourth point, we need to develop infrastructure together. This sounds so simple, basic, but it is essential. We need to build grids, interconnectors and cables. We need to connect our countries and diversify our energy supplies. And that is what we are, for example, doing with the ELMEC connection between Italy and Tunisia. It will be the very first direct current connection between Europe and Africa. We are also helping to develop a connection between Greece and Egypt. So these projects will help enhance energy security across both our continents. And finally, we need, of course, to work together to protect infrastructure, both from cyber attacks and physical attacks. And here we should use the cooperation we have with NATO. We have taken, together with NATO, measures to better prepare and protect ourselves. We are developing capabilities to protect critical undersea cables. That's the new normal. And as we know that these cables cross countries and continents, we are absolutely open and ready to share our experiences and to cooperate on this with our strategic partners and friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, a lot is to do. We have gone quite a mile already, but we are at a decisive moment. And the speeches I could listen to today prove how crucial it is now to be here. Thank you again, Fatih, for convening this summit here. It is crucial because Europe is ready to work with all of you. We are in close cooperation anyway, but it's a broader offer here. As the saying goes, you know it all, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we want to go far. Thank you very much for your attention.